Today we are going to talk about how late the tenders run for water shuttles when a cruise ship is visiting a port overnight. We are also going to talk about Bar Harbor. Just we're there on our cruise, and that's what I'm going to tell you all about today. Plus, fortuitously, they had big news coming out of their town council today. So we've got a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Wednesday. It is September 20th of 2023. I am making this video late at night for you, but it's going to go live on the 21st, alrighty? But I first want to ask you to please subscribe to our channel. We really need to have you with us. We share lots of information about cruising and traveling to cruise, so we would love to have you with us. And also, if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? You hear from us every day of the week except for Sunday. And so join us every day. I look forward to reading your comments and having you with us. So first of all, as you all know, there are some ports that have to have the tenders or the water shuttles. The ship ends up anchoring outside of the port there, and then the passengers take the water shuttle into the port. And then when it's time to come back to the ship, they just hop on that tender and go back to the ship again. Now, a lot of things are involved in that I think a lot of us, including me, never really stopped to think about. And one thing that stood out to me today is one of our Let's Go family members was so kind to share the communication that they have received. They are heading out on a Princess cruise to Hawaii in December, and the overnight that is scheduled in Kona, because they can no longer call there in Maui, has the tenders are only going to be able to run until 7 p.m. due to port restrictions. Now that really, I think, is a very important note, because no matter where you go, there can be different port restrictions. I remember, as I've shared before, that when we visited St. Petersburg, Russia, we got back to the ship. It was after midnight a little bit by the time that we got there. We had hired a private tour guide, and we had gone to the ballet, and then they took us back to the ship. And that was not a transfer port. That was not a tender port. That was just a regular docked port. Now, things might have been different if we had had to tender there. So the bottom line is that as you are planning your port visits when you are on a cruise ship, see what you can find out about what the port restrictions are, about how they allow those tenders to run. I don't know if it has anything to do with what time sunset is, harbor traffic, just anything like that. But really keep that in mind as you're considering what your arrangements are going to be. I was thinking about being in Kona late, and if you are going to be in a port that the tenders only run till 7, but there are things that you really want to do later into the evening, you're going to need to probably get a hotel in that port so that you can do what you want to do, go to the hotel, and then the next day, of course, be back on board before the ship departs. So that's a really big deal, because some places you go, you wouldn't want to have to be back to the ship by 7 p.m. So keep that in mind when you're planning your cruises, alrighty? And if anyone else has any news on any itineraries, any changes, I'd love it if you would please share it with us, as well as how things are going on your cruise. The next bit of information for you is, yesterday we were in Bar Harbor, and it just so happens that today the news came out that the town council has just voted to disband their cruise ship committee. They had a committee, I think there were 17 people on the committee, and their job was to try to make it so that they were supposed to work with the cruise lines to make sure that everything went smoothly with travel, as well as look out for Bar Harbor's interests as far as tourism goes. Well, that committee was disbanded, and it sounds like they are looking to make another committee that will address the tourism concerns, not only from cruise ships, but from everywhere that tourism comes from. They have not started that new committee yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they actually do that. So it's really interesting to me that that came out just as I had the opportunity to visit there. So let me tell you some things that stood out to me about cruise passengers visiting Bar Harbor. And then I will also tell you about my day and some things that I think that you will enjoy knowing. Gordon's going to put in my video clips, but also hopefully will be helpful for you if you end up visiting Bar Harbor on a cruise ship. And even if you're not on a cruise ship, some of this will be helpful. So first of all, a few things that I really noticed is that they talk a lot about the congestion that comes with cruise ship passengers. So when passengers come, they have a really nice place there, really close to the center, where you can easily walk down to the main street and the central area of town, or where you can hop on their Ollie trolley, as they call it, OLIE trolley, and go on a little tour. They had different tours that you could take on the Ollie trolleys, and they were right there close, so you didn't even have to know where to go. You literally get off the tender, walk up the ramp, and there those trolleys are, and the place to buy tickets is right there. It's very handy. There were some other tour things right there where you could book other tours and things to do. You could book a boat ride. There were really a lot of options, and I'm including this footage, so if you wanted to look at something, their web address, you could do that and make arrangements for when you are there. But so much to see, and so it's really very convenient if you were there and you were getting on a bus to go off on an excursion. It was run beautifully, very smoothly. It also is very close to where you're going to walk into town. As I was in the town area, you kind of, if you are just getting there, you walk, you come up the ramp, and then you'll see the trolleys, you cross the street and head up that hill. It's about a block, it's a little bit of a steep hill, and then you take a left and you'll see shops there, and you just walk that direction, and then the first street that you come to that's perpendicular with that road is the main street of town. And you can go left or right there. Left is down to the harbor, and right is towards even more shops and eating establishments. A few things that I noticed, the congestion that really stood out to me was the number of cars. There were quite a few cars going through town the whole time. And I would add that that's not cruise ship passengers. I'm sure that somebody picked up an Uber here and there, but a lot of it, I don't think was cruise passengers. And then also there are a lot of people with dogs right there in town, and so that just added a lot. And I know cruise ships don't bring people with dogs as a general rule, and so of course if people have, you know, their service animal that they have to have with them, but I also was thinking that's not cruise ship passengers, and that will make you smile, because you know that I thoroughly enjoy going on cruises. But you know what, I happen in my life to believe that there is a time and a place for everything. And I think that there maybe are places that cruise ships shouldn't call, but I feel like overall, just and this is only my observation, I'm being in Bar Harbor on one day and I did talk to several of the shopkeepers there. I met one very nice lady who is very wise, and so I was talking to her about it. She has lived in Bar Harbor there her whole life, grown up, and works in one of the shops there that's owned by one of their good friends. And she was commenting about what a wonderful a boon to the economy there that cruise passengers coming there bring. She also added that, you know, we come and then we leave. We don't stay there overnight. We don't add a lot of congestion otherwise. And so to her, it's a good thing. So we will see what the town council decides. I'm not in charge of that. Clearly, I don't want to be in charge of that. But I'm sure that there are a lot of other ports. I have read recently that the port of Portland, Maine there is interested in having more cruise ship passengers come. And so maybe that will open up a little bit more as the place where cruise ships call. And I do think it's really important to only go to places that you're welcome. I did notice a story. There's a town in Vermont, Pomfret, P-O-M-F-R-E-T, and close to that place there is a private company. It's called Sleepy Hollow Farms. And they live in an area there where it is very, very beautiful, very picturesque when it is time for the leaves to change colors. They are actually thinking of closing a road there that goes to part of that area from September 23rd through October 15th. And they are willing to bear the cost for that, for those basically 3 weeks there, a little more, that give or take a few days, that they will have it closed, because they have a lot of people come who walk all over, tromp all over people's private property. They don't respect that it's people's private property. They will bring, this is crazy, but some of them will even bring like changing room type things where they can change their clothes to get their pictures with the leaves in different outfits. And people use the side of the road like the powder room, all of these things like that, that they just don't want to tolerate anymore. And I agree with them on that. And so let me know what you think. Do you think that cruise ships should stop going to Bar Harbor, that we should even worry about it? Just the whole situation. Let me know what you think. Now, Bar Harbor is a beautiful, beautiful place. If you're not familiar with it, it is right there, of course, on the coast, Bar Harbor, Maine there, and it has, it is very close to Acadia National Park. It is so beautiful there. It is spectacular. It is the people there were very welcoming, very kind. It was beautiful to see the scenery, the whole region there, and then have a little bit of a chance to walk down and see the Main Street area right in the middle of town there. They've got a Village Green. Right across from the Village Green there is a store that I took the picture of, a place that they make their homemade blueberry soft serve ice cream, which was really delicious. I am not a soft serve ice cream person, and they had lots of other kinds of ice cream, but I thought I should give it a try since that was the local thing, and it was absolutely delicious. So if you're there, the size of cone is about $6. It's not about, it is $6.75, and I think it's worth a try. There were several restaurants where you could eat seafood and try out some of the local fare that way, but it was really nice. And there's lots of different shops. You can I just enjoyed walking in and out and seeing people, and then finally choosing a couple of things. But I really thoroughly enjoyed the time there in Bar Harbor. And like I said, it is very close to walk there from the cruise ship. So if you're just wanting to walk around and see things, to me, Bar Harbor is a town that it's really nice to go visit and see the scenery, as far as, well, 2 levels here, okay? So it is really nice to go see the town, see what that New England town is like, experience it firsthand. If you want to do any shopping, you can do that while you're there, enjoy the views of the harbor, and just try to soak that in a little bit. The other thing that is nice is because it is so close to Acadia National Park and is so scenically beautiful there, that it is really nice to get out of town as well and go on an excursion and see the surrounding countryside a little bit. I met somebody on the ship that said that they were renting bikes for that day, so that's a really fun thing. They had a place right close to the port there where you could even rent a bike just right there by the port. So there's lots of options, like I said, boat rides, a lot to do. So that's what I would recommend for Bar Harbor. And then if you missed our sail away, you might want to go ahead and look at that sail away. It was just absolutely beautiful there, and I shared the things that were fresher in my mind from Bar Harbor as I visited with you there, so don't miss that. So you get off, and then you just walk right here, and then it's the sign pointed this way to downtown Bar Harbor. Hi there.
Hello, madam.
As you leave this way, bus tours, restaurants, and shops, seaside suites. Sorry. This is the Main Street. This is Cottage Street. You turn onto Cottage Street right off of Broderick, that you come up by where you get off the boat, the tender, sorry. Down there is the direction of the harbor. So walking down, here's the Park Harbor over there. So you can see there's lots of places here to shop, to eat.
Yes, I did. The minute I saw it, this is so popular.
Look at that whale. I really appreciate you all being here with me. If you have any questions about anything here on the Emerald Princess, anything that I can find out for you or talk about, will you please let me know? Just put it in the comments, and I really look forward to hearing from all of you. So thank you very much. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.